So if Manchester became, by the 1980s and 1990s, queerly notorious, Brighton was ahead of the game. Already by the 1950s, courting the pink tourist pound and described by one late 1960s journalist as the gayest place in Europe, and visibly so. Brighton and Hove together had, in 1971, 230,000 residents, hemmed in by the South Downs on the one side and the sea on the other. The population densities were high, with flats and bedsits close to the centre and to the social scenes. The local economy was consistently reliant on sole traders, rather than big employers. Hotels, cafes and shops provided what Alan Berube described as classic low-paid queer work, militating against the ethic of solidarity extending from the workplace we see in Manchester, whilst also fostering an individualism which I suggest was Brighton's hallmark. So the keynote I'm highlighting was self-expression and individualism, and this was enhanced by an arts and students scene which had a disproportionate impact here because of the small size and geography of the city. The University of Sussex opened in 1961, rapidly gaining a radical reputation, and alongside there were new town centre buildings for the College of Arts and Crafts. The Brighton Festival began in 1967 and rapidly became the biggest arts festival in England. A queerish independent bookshop, the Unicorn, opened much earlier here than in the other cities, and there were also avowedly gay hotels earlier than in other parts of the country. We can see that the proprietor of the New Steen Hotel, which had been around, I think, since the late 60s. This was, moreover, in the 1960s and until the early 1990s, a relatively cheap place to live, certainly not now. And this made for a youthful and countercultural population. An associated queer life was tangibly woven into Brighton's cultural and commercial fabric, and this was a draw to a steady stream of migrants from other parts of the country in decades when homophobia was felt acutely elsewhere.